Hello, everybody. This is author Latoya Garrett, and today I am chatting with author Latasha Ramsey Cyprian, where we are discussing our new book, Confident is She, coming out September 3rd. But first, there we go. Hey, girl, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Hot, but I'm okay.
Yes, definitely that.
All right. So I'm not gonna hold you long. We're just gonna do like a, intro into who you are, what you wrote about, just have a little quick discussion. And then we're just gonna go on about our day because I know you're busy, I'm busy too. So all
Sounds
right. So introduce yourself first, who you are,
good.
what you do, where you're from, that type of thing.
Right. So I'm Latasha Ramsey Cyprian, originally from Abita Springs. I live right now in the Amite area. I work professionally in HR, but I'm also an author. I have a credit restoration business and a speaker and a mother.
Oh, that's good. Cause girl, every time I go on Facebook, I was like, Latasha is doing everything.
It
You
seems like
always getting acknowledged for something or an award or you getting accepted into some kind of organization. I said, look at her. She just doing everything.
eh, I know it's a lot, but it's good. It's good stuff. I like to serve, so it's good.
And that's good. Yeah. So what made you or grabbed your attention to be a part of this anthology?
So I've been following you on Facebook for a while, and I've never worked with you before. Well, take that back. I think you on the Coaches Connect. I think you were doing the editing work on Coaches
Right.
Connect,
Right.
but I never worked like personally with you. So
Mm-hmm.
it was really a good opportunity to work with you. People that I follow, people that I just look up to, far as this as authors, especially local authors as well. I like I said, I just like seeing what you do. I'm on your email list. I'm always getting email notifications from you and all the new release that you have out. So it was a perfect opportunity for me to be able to just work with you. It's also to allow me to get to know you better as well.
Well, I do appreciate you joining because this has been like in the making since last year. I tried it, I put it out like the author call, and it was just crickets. And I was like, I can't give up on this because the message is too important. And I just can't give up on that because that is my God given message to be an encourager for women who lack confidence. So I said, well, let me try it again next year. And I talked to Latoya, and she was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. I'll help you any way I can. So when you joined, I was like, I know she's going to write. She's going to do right. She's going to be, she's going to do stuff on time, and you're a professional. So thank you for
Yeah.
joining this anthology. And the anthology we're talking about is Confident Is She. This is the book. Your books are coming soon, too. This is
I
the
can't.
book right here.
I love the cover. I love it.
And this is us on the back. Yep.
I love it.
It is a queen's guide to reclaiming her throne and reigning with conviction. I love, love, love the fact that we wrote about confidence. It's just something that's just near and dear to my heart. And I love your chapter. I told you that before through email, but I really love your chapter. And speaking of, what is the title of your chapter to tell the people?
Yes. So the title of my chapter is called "Finding Joy After Sorrow."
Yeah.
Finding Sorrow.
Give the people just a little bit of what it's about without actually
Yes.
giving it away.
They have to buy the book to get all the stuff.
Right.
So I'm not gonna give them potatoes. I'm just gonna give them a little appetizer. So my chapter basically talks about how I lost my confidence in God, and that was due to the death of my father. Up until his passing, it seemed like everything was just perfect. Just life was great. But at that moment when he passed away, my whole life just before my eye, just instantly. I got a phone call, he's at the hospital. Got to the hospital before I knew it, just being told that, he was pronounced dead. So that there just shook my whole world up. And it just reminded me that, well, initially, I went through, of course, different stages of death. We go through different stages of grief and things like that. But I honestly will say I lost my faith and my confidence in God, because I'm like, how could you? Like, how is my dad? He was headed to Bible study. He was a servant. He loved everybody. He was 53. I'm thinking like there's murderers out here walking freely, but why take somebody like him? So I had all these questions, and I, of course, didn't have answers at that moment. But that was something that I had to go through, and that's something that I'm going to go through again as I continue to live as well. But I just talk about that, and I talk about also just being able to, I lost the confidence, but then I regained the confidence in God. And I knew that if I ever want to see my father again in heaven, I have to live right. And I can't be mad at Jesus and,
Right.
and things like that. I had to just change the way I thought, my thought process, and also just realize that death is inevitable. It
Right.
happens to everyone. It doesn't matter the age. There's
Mm-hmm.
babies dying, people in their 20s dying. So it is a part of life, but it's also a reminder to live our life how we want, as if it's our last day as well.
Right.
And take people for granted, don't put things off that you can do today for tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised.
That's good.
Yes.
I really love that you said that, because in the climate that we are now, all this death within the last week,
Yes.
that is a lot. And when death happens, it kind of pulls the rug or pulls the cover off of things. And you're shocked, like, I'm just cozy, I'm in my cover wrapped up, I'm comfortable. And then all of a sudden that happens, and then you're like, I don't know what to do now. So the fact that you actually went through that when you did, it really set you up for, just having history with God, period. Then also the fact that you were able to have such a great relationship with your father. That is very evident in how you wrote your story. And I love the fact that how you talked about, you didn't sugarcoat anything, like your process, how you felt about the situation, how you felt about your father, how you felt about God. So I think a lot of people can relate to that, whether
Yes.
it happened from death or anything else traumatic. But I always say that God is very strategic. Like, He
Yeah.
may not be the one that puts things on you, but He will use the thing that has been put on you. So I think that whatever that you're doing now has sparked from that. And I believe that once as you continue to go forward, it's going to be even more enlarged. And that I do want that for you. And I think He's doing it even now, because, like I said, every time I go on Facebook, it's like you own it, girl.
You're right.
It's a lot, girl.
It is, but you're right. I had to go through it, and I just, I'm gonna be honest and be transparent. Why sugarcoat it? Of course, it doesn't feel good to say I was angry at God, but I'm not the only person that's felt that way. So, I hope this book will show others that we're human. We have feelings, we
Right,
have emotions,
right,
and it's okay. If
right.
I can get through it, and if I'm still going through it, they can as well.
Mm-hmm. So next, um, well, you covered the next question I was going to ask about your outlook, so we're going to skip that. But the fact that you wrote about that experience, like, when you were writing it, did you ever have a moment of extra clarity or more gratitude while you were writing? Because I know I did when I was writing mine.
Yes, it was. It made me. It made me think about memories growing up, or different things that he was present for. One of the examples I always think about is that for my first daughter, he actually spent the night in the hospital with me, him and my mom. Like, he could have easily went home, but he chose to stay in the hospital at St. Tammany Hospital with me for the birth of my first child. And a lot of people don't. don't have stories to be able to tell of their father. So that's a memory that I'm going to carry on forever. So it was sad writing it, but it was also, it made me think about all the good times we had, all the good memories. So definitely, I was grateful. I got 27 years with him. Some people don't get 5 or 10 years with their father. Some people don't even get to know their father. So just it gave me a better outlook on the relationship that I have, and also relationship with my children that I'm trying to have with them, because like I said, you just never know with life, and just not taking things for granted, and then also being more present with my mother, my siblings as well, because of, like I said, how easily death comes, and I didn't get to say goodbye. He wasn't sick. I didn't get to have that conversation with him. He had a massive heart attack, so I didn't get to say goodbye. But that's how God chose to call him home. And it's life, and definitely learning from it, and being able to witness to others as well that's going through the same thing.
Yeah. And that's what I'm going to ask you next. Like, what what type of advice would you give like a young woman or woman that has been in your shoes or that's in your shoes currently, that has, am I saying that right? Like that's going through it now. Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, just be be true to yourself. Be true to your feelings. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to write, get a journal and write. But you have to go through it. You can put it. You can try to avoid it, but what happens is it comes back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to face it. You have to, and everyone is different. My process might be longer than someone else's journey.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to go through it. Don't let people rush you out of it. Don't let people tell you, oh, don't cry. If you want to cry, you cry. So always go with your feelings. But keep going as well. Take care of yourself. Don't neglect yourself while you're also mourning someone else, because we have to stay strong. We have to stay healthy. We have to continue to live as well. But just pretty much just going through the process. And if it takes you a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, I feel like there's no time frame on an amount of time that someone grieves. So take your time. And if you need to talk to someone, there's a lot of groups available now. 16 years ago when he passed away, I'm sure there were groups available, but now every time I turn around, I see there's people that are having meetings. There's grief counselors. So there's so much research that we have available, and take advantage of those resources. Definitely take advantage of the resources to help you.
That's good advice. Um, Going back to your chapter, what do you hope your chapter will convey to women who read it?
Yes. Just to be strong, but it's also okay to be weak. And I'm not saying weak far as in, our feelings, but being able to say, I'm sad. I'm not, I don't want to be bothered with anyone today. It's okay to say that. It's
Right.
your feelings. But just being true to yourself, and just knowing that death is something that we cannot avoid. We cannot run from. It's going to happen at one time or the other. It used to be where we were bearing, our parents, but now sometimes parents are bearing their children. So we don't know how it's going to end, how the world's going to end.
Right.
But to also live your life the way you should live your life, and treat people good, treat people kind. Don't be ugly, don't hold grudges, don't go to bed mad. And we hear these things. I've always heard these things growing up, but it has definitely have a true meaning to me now, since I've experienced the. And I try not to hold grudges, try to go to bed upset, things like that, and just try to also give people their flowers while they're alive.
Right.
Don't get up, at my funeral and tell me how great I am or how great a friend I am. Tell me now, and I would do the same to others as well. So give people their flowers while they're alive, and just appreciate people.
Yes. I wholeheartedly agree with that, because I have I know a lot of people have seen where they get
Mm-hmm.
in front of people at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
so and so was a good person
Yeah.
and all this stuff, but where were you when
Yes.
they were alive?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Exactly.
treat people right. Right. My mom always told me it doesn't matter what people do to you; it matters what you do to people. So I always want to be, even though I'm gonna mess up, because
Oh
people
yeah.
sometimes just press those buttons.
Yeah.
But even though
You're
I'm
human.
gonna try my best to do right by the next person. So the next question is like, have you since your father passed, have you went through anything else that kind of like shook your faith or your confidence for like a moment, and how did you come out of it?
No, I think that that's pretty much was one of the main things that has happened to me. But of course, we go through things along the way, and I feel like I'm able to better handle my situations. So now let's just say, for example, if I have a family member that's ill, I'm gonna try to go spend time with them if I can, see what they need, and I don't ask people, what do you need? No, people don't want to be asked what they need. People want you to do for them.
Do
What
just
can
do.
I do for
Right.
you? Yeah, don't just, people don't always feel, some people don't feel comfortable asking, well, can you do this? Can you do that? Just learning for me is to just take the initiative to do things. Don't wait for people to ask me to do things. And being also more intentional about life itself and how, how I view everything. But just being able to just know that whatever it is we're going to go through, we can get through it. But most of all, having that faith in God, because even when I was mad at him and upset with him and throwing my tantrums, he was there for me each step of the way. When I was grieving, he was there for me. He never turned his back on me. He's never going to turn his back on any of his children. So that just made me even more realize how real he is and how good he is to us.
Yes. I even to piggyback off of that, Sunday I missed my sermon from the week prior, so I watched it this past Sunday. So it was about faith and how, Sarah, she was like the only woman that made it to the Hall of Fame with about her faith. Even though she laughed when God was like she was gonna have a baby and all that kind of stuff, but she still had faith, on the other side of her disbelief, her laughter. So I was thinking about, I was like, you know what? I've been holding back, and that's been disobedient. And I'm like, I should have been there doing what I'm supposed to do, because we all get caught up in our weaknesses. But when we're weak, he's strong. And we forget that. And if we're going by purpose, about what he tells us to do, we should not be worried about what we can't do in our ability, because if he told you to do it, everything else is going to work out.
It
Everything's going to
is.
work out. So that just makes me think about how he's been so good through all of that. He's been so patient. And that's
Yes.
what teaches me how to deal with other people.
Mm.
Because when they are, quote unquote, getting on my nerves, I try to, I just like, oh, I got to go because I can't deal with it. But sometimes you have to deal with it. And that's
Yeah.
how you build a relationship. That's how you grow in your faith. How you grow, just mature, just period, mature. So I'm just like, God is like really, really good.
Yes.
And that
Good.
has boosted my confidence. And the thing is, I asked him like January. It's about me and you, Lord. I'm gonna seek you and let everything else fall into place, and just help me build my confidence. This right here, what I'm doing, I would have never done this
Me
ever.
neither. Me
And
neither.
see how he's doing. See how he's doing. Like he's been answering prayers, and that is
Yes.
really boosting it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't even. I didn't even know how to even get on here on the Instagram live, but I was like, I'm gonna try, you know. But yeah, it definitely boosts confidence as well. So I agree with you on that. I agree.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about this either. I just said I wanted to do it. I said we'll figure it out the day it happens. So when it was like she can't join, I was like, oh, I'm not about to get upset. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yes.
So next question. Oh, we're doing like the 30-day challenge. When you get your book, your copies at
Hmm.
the back, it's a 30-day challenge for the women who anything that scares them, that challenges them, or seems difficult or unattainable for the next 30 days, this is what you're going to work
Perfect.
for. It could be something small. It,
Mm-hmm.
if just holding eye contact with a person.
Yes. Yes.
Um, Exercising, doing something that'll help better you physically. Um, Saving money. Anything that will better you to boost your confidence, you gotta do it for the next 30 days. And I'm asking you, do you want to participate for the
Of
month of September?
course. Yes, definitely. I'm all in, definitely. Because I could there's so many things I could choose that I can, I can definitely choose. It won't be hard for me to pick something. So yes, I would love to participate. Yes.
That's good. I'm excited because I want to make this a movement. And
Yes.
I have it in the back of the book to you can list it.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
then if you want to email me what you're doing and your
Yeah.
progress, we can do that. And we can set up one-on-one videos like we're doing today. We
Yeah.
can do that. Because I do want to make this a movement because so many women are living under their potential because they're getting lost in
Mhm.
everyday stuff,
Yes.
things that happened in the past, and you gotta let that stuff go. You
You
gotta let
have
it go.
to. It's not healthy. It's definitely not healthy. You have to let it go. You're right. You're so
Correct.
right. And then there's so many people that have so much purpose. Everybody has a purpose, but people are playing small, and it's time out for that. So people need to have that confidence, because lack of confidence, of course, is the main thing that stops people from being able to live to their fullest potential. And it's time to shine. And there's so many things that people can do that can help others, because we all have our gifts. So I am excited, and this book is going to be great, and I can't wait to read it. I know you probably love reading the entire book. I can't wait to read it. I'm gonna read it all in one sitting.
I was like, I was scared because when it was only just five of us,
Hmm.
that really said anything.
Hmm.
Janice was like the last person that came through. It was days after, I kind of like shut everything down. So when she got to number five, I was like, bingo, because number five is my favorite number. And we know that signifies God's grace. And that has been my number since, I think, junior high, I think. That's
Wow.
my number. So when I saw that number, that's just confirmation for me. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to trip over the fact that it's just five testimonies. He
Mhm.
gave me the idea, go
Yes.
ahead and write the devotional chapters.
Yes.
So I have the devotional chapters, then our testimony. Another devotional chapter, testimony. So it all panned out right. And it's like 106 pages, I think it is.
And
Yeah,
I
so
think quality over quantity any day. You could have 20 authors, but if they're not writing about something that's going to be meaningful and from their heart, they're not helping the readers, the audience. So it's the five is a good number. Five is mighty. So I'm excited about it. And like I said, it's definitely about the quality of the book. And I know it's going to help a lot of people. Those that pick it up, they're going to be able to read it, pass it along to others. So I'm excited about what's to come from this.
me too, because it was so much. Even reading everybody's chapters, it was like we were supposed to write this together. And I was like, some of the terminology that we all use, I was like, oh my God, we were all supposed to do this together. Even Colleen wrote about the Cinderella effect within her life. And I was like, I chose these colors based off of Cinderella.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God. And even Latoya, she wrote something. I had to tell her when I edited her chapter. I said the same exact thing. Like we all have been on one accord with our writing. So that is a big blessing. And the book will come out on Amazon Sunday, September the 3rd, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Sunday,
September
September
3rd.
the 3rd. And we're going to have like a live party. It may be 30 minutes, it may be an hour, because of course, people have to go to work,
Yeah.
and I got things to do, church and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm so excited.
Too. Me too. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Like I said, this year I really haven't been. I participated in a lot of anthologies last year, And this year I was like, okay, I'm gonna just kind of sit still and let God lead me. But so there's only been a handful that I participated in this year.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the call for authors for your book, I definitely had to. I was like, this is what I'm going to work on. So it wasn't about how many people or who was all on it. Like I said, it was. Now I know it was what God wanted me to do, but also it was a great opportunity, like I said, for me to build a relationship with you and to get to know you better as well.
Well, I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate your writing, your professionalism, all of it. I really, really appreciate it.
You're
So
welcome.
we're about to just end this call, but before I go, do you have any, like, you want to shout out, like, any of your businesses or your social media, anything like that?
Yeah, so on Facebook, I am under Latasha. Last name is Ramsey Cyprian. I'm also on Instagram. I'm still trying to, I'm still trying to learn Instagram, but I'm on here as Latasha Cyprian. Again, my name of the business is Optimum Life Credit Solutions. I do credit coaching, credit restoration. I can be found on Optimum Life Credit Solutions. That's the Facebook business page as well. And then just words of encouragement I want to leave everyone with is just to, know that everything that we go through is for a reason. God already knows what we're going to go through before it even happens to us, but how we deal with it and the outcome of it and what we learn from it is how we're going to continue to grow. And I always think about growth is uncomfortable, but it definitely is necessary, and it will help us in the future, and it's going to also help us with others. We can witness to someone, be able to serve someone. So just to always keep that faith and be with people that are good people that will keep you accountable. Have those accountability partners is very important, and just continue to each day walk fully in your purpose.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining me
You're
today.
welcome.
Thank you. And I'll talk to y'all, the whole group, pretty soon.
Yes.
Probably in the next few days, because I almost forgot about I had to record my part for the video. Girl, and I was like, let me extend this.
Yeah, when you said that, oh yeah, thank you so much. That's why I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to work on it this weekend, so I'll be ready for that.
Yeah.
I might be written questions. I
Thank
might be written out to you because this is all new to me, but it's going to get done.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my best. I'm not
Yes.
professional with these videos, but I'm gonna do my best.
Most
Yeah.
definitely. Most definitely.
All right, girl. Well, you
All
have
right.
a good rest of your day,
Thank
and
to you.
I'll see y'all soon.
And again, thank you for the vision for this project and the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
All
Have a
right.
good one.